cries of young babies, their first fall in snow, elderly's memories that never grow old. Let it be Christmas everywhere. Let heavenly music fill the air. Let every heart sing, let every bell ring, the story of hope and joy and peace. And let it be Christmas everywhere. Let heavenly music fill the air. Let anger and fear and hate disappear. Let there be love that lasts through the year. And let it be Christmas, Christmas everywhere. Let it be Christmas everywhere. In the songs that we sing and the gifts that we bring, Christmas everywhere. In what this day means and what we believe, from the sandy white beaches where blue water rolls, snow-covered mountains and valleys below. Let it be Christmas everywhere. Let heavenly music fill the air. Let every heart sing, let every bell ring, the story of hope and joy and peace. And let it be Christmas everywhere. Let heavenly music fill the air. Let anger and fear and hate disappear. Let there be love that lasts through the year. And let it be Christmas, Christmas everywhere. Christmas everywhere, Christmas everywhere. We're looking for the King, the new Messiah.
The Herdmans were the worst kids in the whole history of the world. They lied and stole and smoked cigars, even the girls, and talked dirty and cussed their teachers and took the name of the Lord in vain and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken-down tool house.
And that's not all. Someone sent 5 dozen donuts for the firemen, and the Herdmans ate them all. And when they couldn't eat, they stuffed down the pockets in the front of their shirts.
And they wrote this really, really dirty word on the back of Naomi Walding's favorite turtle, so now she can't even take it to the YMCA pet show. Her mother won't let her.
What was the word?
And that's not all. They did it in fluorescent paint, so it glows in the dark. When you can't even see the turtle, you can still see the word.
And they put a whole bunch of tadpoles in the school drinking fountain, and Miss Barnes drank like 2 or 3 by mistake. Someone yelled, "Mildred, stop, you're drinking tadpoles," but it was too late.
Well, did she get sick?
Not right away.
And that's not all. There were 6 of them: Ralph, Imogene, Leroy, Claude, Ollie, and Gladys. And they went through the Woodrow Wilson schoolhouse like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. And they went around town the same way, lying and stealing and tearing things up and whamming little kids. It was hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place.
Sweet hour of prayer, because there are no herdsmen there, and Jesus loves us, as they say, because he keeps them miles away.
That's my little brother Charlie, and that's what he said when the Sunday school teacher asked him what his favorite thing about church was. He said, "No Herdmans." And that made the Sunday school teacher mad because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus and good feeling. But old Charlie, He told the real truth. No, Herdmans.
I don't care what everybody else said. That's what they really thought. All that other stuff is okay, but the main good thing about Sunday school is the Herdmans aren't there. Ever.
Well, that doesn't sound like a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Was he the worst one, Leroy?
They're all the worst one.
Well, Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets you...
That doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast, and she's mean, and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Man, just stay away from them all.
That's what I said. Stay away from them and go to church.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Charlie.
Why?
No arguments this year about being in the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Tell Miss Armstrong you'd rather be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everyone's in it. Think how I'd feel sitting there Christmas Eve and my own children weren't in the pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, I wasn't going to go this year. You know how crowded it always is. They could use my seat for someone else. You know what? I'm going to stay home, put on my bathrobe, relax. There ain't ever anything different about the Christmas pageant.
Well, there's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your robe.
Huh, you just made that up, Grace.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. He's sick of being Joseph all the time just because his father's the minister. Nobody really wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
Well, what are you going to be this year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Well, why can't Charlie be in the angel choir this year?
Because I can't sing?
Huh. What I heard from the past, that's not a serious drawback. Away in the manger always sounds like a closet full of mice.
What do you wear in the angel choir?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice. Bathrobe or bed sheet. Come on, let's go watch TV.
Okay.
Oh, you know that Miss Armstrong gives you, always tries to give you a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
Well, they're right, of course. She runs the potluck. She's the chairman of the bazaar. She directs the pageant. Man, I think she would preach a sermon if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes?
Well, maybe she'll try to manage the hospital. That's where she is. I ran into George down at the drugstore. He said his wife broke her leg this morning. She'll be in traction for 2 weeks and laid up to the first of the year.
First of the year! We'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas?
No, but she's in charge of the bazaar and she's in charge of the pageant. I feel bad for Helen, but who's going to do all of these things?
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad.
Yes, I'll take over the bazaar, Edna. If you'll do the potluck supper, I don't know what in the world we'll do about the pageant, unless... How about Grace?
Oh, I just can't, Edna. I've got company all Christmas week. How about Grace?
Grace. Hello? Is this Grace?
Bob, I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
What you'd call 4-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was about the only unexpected thing to ever happen to it. It was always the same old Christmas story and the same old carols and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
Tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them we must choose our Mary carefully because Mary was the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes. And then I tell them about Joseph, that he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. That's how I explain it. Frankly, I don't ever spend much time on Joseph because it's always Elmer Hopkins. And he knows all about Mary and Joseph.
I thought Miss Armstrong was in traction. How can she talk on the phone if she's in traction?
What do you think traction is?
Like when they put you to sleep?
No such luck. Beth, we need some salt and pepper and some napkins.
All right.
But I do explain about the wise men and the shepherds and how important they are. And I tell them that there are no small parts, only small actors. Remind the angel choir not to stare at the audience, and don't let them wear earrings and things like that. And don't let them wear clunky shoes or high heels. I just hope you don't have too many baby angels, Grace, because they'll be your biggest problem.
You're going to leave some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry. Lyra Herdman stole my lunch again.
How can you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Well, where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
Oh, it's still in the oven.
I'll get it.
You have to get someone to push the baby angels. Otherwise, they'll get in each other's way and bend their wings. Bob can do that. And he could keep an eye on the shepherds, too. Oh, another thing, Grace, about the angel choir. Don't let them wear lipstick. They think because it's a play
There's someone at my door, Helen. I have to go.
that they have to wear lipstick. And
Someone's
it looks
at my-
terrible, so tell them, Grace, tell them.
Someone's at my door, Helen. I'll talk to you later. Yes, I'm coming.
Lady, can I have some supper? I haven't had a square meal in 3 days.
Oh, for heaven's sake, it's you.
Well, I'm lonely over here at the table.
Well, I guess Helen's lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephone's working.
I bet she told you there are no small parts, only small actors.
And getting someone to shove the baby angels on and tell the shepherds to shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
And Grace, don't just use anybody, baby, for Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get two if you can. Then if one turns out to be fussy, you can always switch them.
My mother didn't pay too much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said Mrs. Armstrong was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think up problems. But there weren't going to be any problems. Of course, Mother didn't count on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time. Yes, the most wonderful time. Oh, the most wonderful time.
Hey, Leroy, you give me back my lunch.
Sure, kid. Here.
You stole my dessert again.
How do you know?
Because it isn't in here.
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right. That's what it was.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so great you can steal my dessert every day? You know what? I don't even care if you steal my dessert. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want in Sunday school.
Oh, yeah? What kind of dessert?
All kinds. Chocolate cakes and whoopie pies and muffins. We get refreshments all the time, all we want.
You're a liar.
And donuts and ice cream and cupcakes.
Who gives it to you?
Delmar.
Why, is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Sunday school. Huh.
That was the very wrong thing to tell the Herdmans, because sure enough, there they were the very next Sunday in Sunday school, just in time to hear all about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant?
It's a play.
Like on TV? What's it about?
It's about Jesus.
Everything here is.
And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary.
Who's Mary?
I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part.
Mary.
Come on, Bess. Charlie, you and David, come. Now this won't take long if we all just settle down. Find a seat. Today we're going to Today, we're going to decide who will play the main roles in our Christmas pageant. But you know that, of course, everyone has a very important part to play. You know what Miss Armstrong always says.
There are no small parts, only small actors.
Isn't that what Miss Armstrong always says?
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means the short kids have to be in the front row of the angel choir, or else nobody can see them.
Well, not exactly. It actually means that, it really means that the short kids that the baby angel is actually just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is just as important as Mary.
Of course, that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is most important.
Girls still think it means the short kids have to be in the front row.
Girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, is everyone here? Beverly, would you just step out in the hall and make sure see if anyone else is coming? Now, you little children will be our angels. So please remind your mothers that you will need bed sheets. People in the angel choir will also need bed sheets, and if you have any old, what is the matter? If you have any old bathrobes, okay, we'll make some room there for the Herdmans. Well, now, what happened to Beverly?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
All I did was, I just said, "Hi, Beverly," and she just left.
I see. Well, will somebody please remind Beverly about the rehearsals the next 4 Wednesdays after school? Plan to be here for everyone.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. Absolutely. So Mary Joseph may absolutely not get sick.
But what if they do get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
Well, Beverly just got sick, and we didn't even start yet.
We don't know that Beverly got sick. Okay, so we all know what kind of person Mary was. I want you to think about that and we know that she was quiet and she was gentle and she was kind. And the person that plays that part should probably be that kind of a person. So, we're going to, is there any one of you that would like to volunteer to be that part? Did you have a question, Imogene?
No, I want to be Mary. And Ralph over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, I'll just make a list of volunteers for these parts, and then we'll decide who they will be. So Ralph Herdman has now volunteered, and I'll just write that down. Is there any other of you shepherds, or any of other ones that would like to volunteer to be Joseph? Do you raise your hand, Elmer?
Not anymore.
Just raise your hands, please. Any volunteers? Any of you shepherds? Okay, well, very well, Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. Now, Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. So, what other names could I put down on the list to volunteer? Janet. Roberta? Alice, do you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Oh, I'll be Mary.
Shut up, Gladys. I'm already Mary. You can be a wise man.
Well, wise men are usually boys, but I guess we could.
I would love to be a wise man.
Yeah, me too. Hey, Claude, you want to be a wise man? Raise your hand.
Well, what's a wise man?
Just raise your hand.
So, what's left to be?
Some angel?
Oh, I'll be that. What is that?
It's the angel of the Lord who brought the good news to the shepherds. There, we do have some volunteers after all. Yes, hobby.
No, I just want to say I can't be in it. I'm going to Italy next week.
Seriously, why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered.
My mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know. She said, don't be a shepherd.
I am not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. Now, what is the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Herdman hits too hard.
Gladys isn't going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord just visits the shepherds in the fields and tells them that Jesus was born.
And hits them.
Elmer, it's ridiculous. And I don't want to hear another word about it from anyone. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now, that's all for today, boys and girls. You can go. But I expect you to see you, everyone, Wednesday at 6:30. Alice, why didn't you raise your hand?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
I expected you to volunteer, to be married. Don't you want to be married? No.
Oh, Alice, come on. I don't know.
I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be married in this pageant, and if you open your mouth or raise your hand, you wish you didn't. And I said, I'm always married in the Christmas pageant. And she said, go ahead then. And next spring, when the pussy willows come out, I'll stick a pussy willow so far down your ear that no one can reach it. And it'll sprout there, and it'll grow, and it'll grow, and you'll spend the whole rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
Alice, you know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. Herdmans will do anything. You just watch. They'll do something stupid and ruin the whole play, and it's all your mother's fault.
Jane, this is Edna McCarthy calling. Did you hear? All six of them ended up in the Christmas pageant. And it must be Grace's fault somehow.
Vera, Irma Slocum. I just heard that Imogene Herdman is going to be married in the Christmas pageant, and is that a fact? All six of them? Vera, I live next door to that outfit, and I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman? What kind of a child is that to be to marry the mother of Jesus? Where was Reverend Hopkins? I'd like to know that. He was what? Vincent shut-ins? Well, I'm shut-in and he wasn't visiting me.
I said, why don't you let them hand out programs by the door? But Grace said, we never have programs at our Christmas pageant. But I said,
better nail down the church and lock up the silver service and hide the collection plates before they clean them out.
What was the matter with Grace? Grace, oh my word. Couldn't she have sent them away? Tell them to go home. I feel so responsible. If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened.
I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. Let me tell you.
Don't. I'm on your side. The car is over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who can run a Christmas pageant. I have made up my mind just to do the best I could under the circumstances, and I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant we've ever had. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they're the only ones that raised their hands and nobody else did. And I don't care.
Good for you, Grace. The car is over here.
And you're going to help me?
Does that mean...
You have to go!
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long.
All right. So, to start off with, the inn will be back there, off stage, and the shepherds will come in and they will gather around the manger.
Where do all the shepherds come from anyway?
And what is an inn?
It's like a motel. People go to spend the night.
Who? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel? Shut up, Ollie. Everybody, shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard of the Christmas story in the Bible before? Okay, well, that's what this is. So I guess I'll have to read it to you.
I don't believe that. Do you? That they've never heard the Christmas story before?
I mean, why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they never went to church in their whole life till your dumb brother told them we got refreshments.
Yeah.
Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
All right. Here real quick. All right, now. So there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that the whole world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary, his wife, being great with child.
Wait up. Pregnant. Mary was pregnant.
Oh, there. Oh. All right, now we all know that Mary was pregnant. And it came to pass while they were there that the days were accomplished and that she should be delivered, and she brought forth her firstborn son.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant.
Well, I mean, I guess she kind of was.
I don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in the manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
My word! They didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, nobody really knew he was going to be Jesus.
Well, didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was the matter with Joseph not telling them with her being pregnant and everything?
What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, it is. Like, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so Mary had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had no bed and you had a baby and you didn't have anything to put it in?
Well, we put Gladys in the burrow drawer.
Well, okay then. There you are. You didn't have a bed and you had to use something else.
Oh, well, actually we had a bed, only Ollie was still in it, and she wouldn't get out. She didn't like Gladys very much. Remember how you didn't like Gladys?
Hey, guys. That was pretty smart of Ollie not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough.
What
For
about
animals.
the wadded up clothes?
What?
You said earlier, wadded up clothes. What are they?
Swaddling clothes. They used to people used to wrap up babies very tightly in big pieces of material to keep them cozy and warm. You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
Child welfare's at our house every 5 minutes.
There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem.
Well, I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds keeping watch o'er their flocks by night, and lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord...
Shazam!
What?
Out of the Black Knight with horrible vengeance, the mighty Marvo.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The mighty Marvo in Amazing Comics. Out of the Black Knight with horrible vengeance.
This is the angel of the Lord who brings the good news to the shepherds.
Out of the night, right? In the black of the night, right?
Well, I guess, in a way. I mean...
Shazam!
Now, when Jesus was born, there were wise men from the east bearing gifts of gold and frankincense.
Frankincense?
And myrrh.
What's myrrh?
They were special things. Spices and precious oil.
Oil? What kind of present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare? The wise men?
They were kings and they were sent.
Well, it's about time somebody important showed up. If they're kings, they can get the baby out of the barn until the innkeeper were to get off.
Well, they were sent by Herod, who was, well, he was the main king, and he wanted to have Jesus put to death.
My word! They're gonna kill Jesus? He was just born!
He's out to kill the baby, and he isn't even in the play?
Wait. Herod, yeah, Herod's not going to be in this play.
He's out to kill the baby, and he isn't even in the play?
But they didn't.
Who's going to be Herod in this play?
Well, there's not going to be Herod.
Well, somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod. And he says, go get me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's king and all.
Yeah, and then they don't do it. They go back and get Herod.
No, I am not going to be Herod.
No one is going to be Herod. Forget about Herod.
I say Joseph gets the wise men and the shepherds together and we go and wipe out Herod.
No! They're gonna put one in! It's gonna be me! I'm gonna get killed! I'm too young to die!
Forget about Herod. There is no Herod.
And then I want to wait for baby till the fight's all over.
Somebody ought to wipe out the innkeeper. Gladys, you wipe out the innkeeper.
I can't. I'm an angel.
Well, I wouldn't just hang around in the barn. I will get a room.
Weren't you paying attention? She said there was no room.
Well, then I'd make room. I'll throw somebody out. I'll tell them, I've got this baby. It's the middle of winter, so you better move over or get out.
I go after old Herod.
I'd say an angel after him. She could just point her electric finger at him and turn him to a pile of ashes.
Yeah, Zeb. What's the name of this play? She never said.
And weren't you paying attention? She said it's called Christmas Pageant.
That's not a name. That's what it is. Oh, I know a name. I'd call it Revenge at Bethlehem.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Revenge at Bethlehem. The Herdmans thought the Christmas story came straight out of the FBI files. At least they picked the right villain. It was King Herod they wanted to gang up on, and not the baby Jesus. But the baby Jesus quit the pageant anyways. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum, but Mrs. Slocum said she wasn't going to let Imogene Herdman get her hands on him. So we didn't have a baby. Mother kept trying to scratch up a baby, and that bothered her, and it came all the way up to the last rehearsal that we couldn't find one. What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
It is not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogene curses and swears all the time.
She does.
Ralph talks about sexy things.
He does.
Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant.
You know she did.
Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I could care less what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. They steal too. If you shake the birthday bank, it doesn't make a sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And every time you go in the ladies' restroom, Imogene Herdman is sitting there in the Mary's costume smoking cigars.
And you wrote all this down? What for?
For my mother and Reverend Hopkins and the Ladies' Aid Society and anyone else who wants to know what happened when the whole pageant turned out to be a big mess.
Remember to be good. All right, now, everyone, let's get quiet. Alice, Beth, can you please get up here where we can get started? Now, this is our last rehearsal. And we are going to,
Grace! I just wanted to let you know that we're back making applesauce cake. We'll try not to bother you. I guess this is your dress rehearsal?
It's supposed to be, Oh, Edna, didn't I hear that your niece, Kara, had a baby a month or so ago?
Yes, she's 5 weeks old by now.
Well, I was wondering what it would be like if I was to call your niece and ask her if we could borrow her for
No. Grace, I could make up some story and tell you the baby's sick or cranky or something, but the fact is, she's perfectly beautiful, healthy, and happy, and we kind of would like to keep her that way. Certainly not going to hand her over to Imogene Herdman or any of the rest of them. Sorry, Grace.
Okay, whatever.
You can use my baby brother for baby Jesus.
Oh, David, I didn't know you had a baby brother.
He's not new. He's only 4 years old, but he's double jointed, and he could probably scrunch up.
Okay. Well, just forget about a baby. I think we'll just, maybe.
Well, I can get us a baby.
Oh, how can you do that?
There's 2 or 3 babies outside the supermarket. I can just grab one of them.
Imogene, you can't do that. Find it. You can't do that.
Yeah, we can just use a doll. That's better anyway.
Yeah,
they don't bite
we'll
you.
Probably just do that. Okay. Imogene, you know you're not supposed to. Mary did not wear earrings.
What? But I have to wear these. If I don't wear them, my ears will go together.
They won't grow together in an hour and a half. What did your doctor tell you to do?
What doctor?
Well, who pierced your ears?
Gladys did it.
Oh.
She probably did it with an ice pick. I bet Imogene's ears turn black and fall off.
All right. Well, find something smaller. Now, is that your costume? Is that what you're going to wear? You're all supposed to be wearing your costumes.
I can't find my halo.
My wings are all bent. Janet's got my robe.
And my mother doesn't have any white bed sheets, but I got this bed sheet, and I think I could put some white balloons on it.
I haven't got a costume. I was never a shepherd before.
You have to wear your father's bathrobe. And that's what I have to do.
He doesn't got one.
What does he wear around the house?
His underwear?
Oh, come on. All right, we'll just pretend that you were wearing the costumes.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Yes, of course. But first, we're gonna try to just practice the entrances. So all of you can go where you're supposed to be, and then we'll start with the shepherds. Just read the last few words, Maxine.
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Music, shepherds.
And an angel of the Lord appeared to them.
Shazam! No, Gladys.
Out of the Black Knight!
No. You just stand right there. Go on, Maxine.
A multitude of heavenly hosts.
24. Music, angels. Music, wise men.
I've got the baby here. Don't touch him. I named him Jesus.
No. You don't say anything. Mary doesn't say anything. No one says anything. Now put the doll back. Make a lovely picture for us to look at as we think about Christmas and what it means. Now put the doll back.
I'm not going to say anything. What? Did some angel just come up to me and say, name him Jesus?
Well, actually, yes.
What a horrible thing to say.
What angel was that? Was that Gladys?
No. Gladys just brought the good news to the shepherds.
Yeah, unto you a child is born.
Unto me. Not them, me. I'm the one that had the baby.
No. It just means that Jesus belongs to everybody. Unto all of us a child is born.
Well, why didn't they let Mary name her own baby? I would have named him Bill.
What a horrible thing to say. I know what the angel would have said. She said, his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Almighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace.
My word, he never got a first grade to write all of that.
All right, I need a water.
Yeah, me too. Let's go.
Mrs. Bradley, what should I do? Should I start over?
Just 5 minutes, everyone. 5 minutes.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call.
We never did start over, and we never did get through the whole thing. The 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes, and Imogene Herdman spent the whole time smoking cigars in the ladies' room. And then Mrs. McCarthy went to the ladies' room and saw all the smoke. And of course she called the fire department, and of course they came right away.
Fire! Fire! There's a fire!
Yeah, they cleared everybody out of the building and dragged a humongous fire hose through the whole church looking for a fire to put out. But the only one they found was in the kitchen. All the applesauce cake had burned up, and of course, all the ladies were mad about that, and Mrs. McCarthy was mad, and my mother was mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke?
It was a lot of smoke. The whole ladies' room was full of thick smoke.
It couldn't have been. You just got excited. And now look, there's angels crying in the streets. There's firemen all over in the church. There's shepherds all over the fire truck. And half the neighborhood. Didn't you know it was cigar smoke?
No, I did not. I did not expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
I've been on the phone all morning and I can't make heads or tails out of it. Some people said they set fire to the ladies' room. Other people said they set fire to the kitchen. And Claire Moyer said all they want to do is talk about sex and underwear.
Oh, come on. That was Hobby Clark talking about underwear. And the only fire there was in the kitchen where the applesauce cake burnt up.
I don't think he meant the Herdmans.
That sounds like something Edna McCarthy would say.
Grace, don't you think we ought to cancel the pageant?
That sounds like Edna, Mrs. Armstrong.
Well, we can blame it on the fire, makes a good excuse. Besides, I think it's going to be...
A disaster?
Yeah.
It's going to be the best Christmas pageant we've ever had.
But Grace, I don't think anybody's going to come see it.
I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie. Neither did Charlie, but we were wrong. There, when we were about to go for the Christmas pageant, the whole church was jammed full. Everybody came to see what the Herdmans would do.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Just wait till I get the lights on here.
I can't even see where I'm going with this thing.
Watch out. Just be careful here.
What in the world do you think you're going to do with it anyway?
Well, I thought it would look like a palm tree. I see now. It doesn't really. Oh, Bob, I have no idea how in the world this thing is going to go. We've never gone through the whole thing once, and the Herdmans still think it's some kind of spy story. It might be just the first Christmas pageant that in history where the shepherds, Joseph and the shepherds, get in a fight and Mary runs away with the baby. Where's our children?
All the children in the world are down in the basement putting on bed sheets.
I meant our children.
Here.
You should probably get your costumes on.
Yeah, but it's just gonna be awful, you know? They look like trick-or-treaters or something, all tied together with safety pins and wearing their moldy old sneakers. They look like refugees or something. Mary and Joseph, I mean.
Well, they were refugees, Mary and Joseph, in a way. You know, they were a long way from home. They didn't know anyone. They were alone. They were probably cold, tired, and hungry, and messy.
You're right.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they sure are messy.
Oh, do you think I should,
I think you worry too much. Now, I got to push the baby angels on stage, and I got to hand out these shepherd's crooks and push the shepherds on stage. When do I do all that?
Here, just follow this script.
Okay, baby angels, shepherds, wise men. Hey, it doesn't say anything here about where the firemen come in.
Oh, come on.
I'm just kidding.
Lord, I need you. I can't do this. Forgive me, Father. I've been making this whole pageant about you. I've been trying to get the glory, and I've been trying to prove a point. I repent. This story isn't about me. Will you come and take over? I give it back to you. After all, this is your story. All right. Is everyone here? Okay, looks like Beth, can I have you and Alice come down front where so you can help the baby angels?
Yeah, sure.
Just want to see how you all look. Let's see. Oh, Gladys, where's your halo?
Our cat buried it? Listen, I think I'll just say something besides the baby came. Why would they get up and tear after some baby they don't even know? I have to tell him it's Jesus. I have to tell him I know where he is.
No. You just tell them, unto us a child is born. And that's all you say. Now, let's all, you go backstage, and we'll and try to be quiet while people are coming in. Good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say good luck. Actors say break a leg.
Yes, I know that, Alice. But in this case, for those of you who don't know what it means, it's just a theoretical saying. It doesn't really mean break a leg or yours or anyone else's. Imogene, remember that's a baby. And for tonight anyway, it's the baby Jesus.
In the days of Caesar Augustus, a decree went out that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went into Bethlehem with Mary his wife, who was great with child. And while they were there, she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
Look at them. Aren't they awful? Ugh, and what's she doing with the baby? I don't think it's very nice to burp the baby as if he had colic.
Alice, he could have had colic just like any other baby.
I don't care. It looks awful. They look awful.
So what? They just came a long way and they don't have any place to sleep and they've got a new baby to worry about.
Who? Ralph and Imogene?
No, Mary and Joseph.
And in that region there are shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. An angel of the Lord appeared to them. The glory of the Lord shone round about, and they were sore afraid when the angel of the Lord appeared to them and said, "Be not."
Hey! Hey! Unto you a child is born. He's in the barn. Go see him. Go see him. He's over there. Go on.
And suddenly there is a multitude of heavenly hosts, saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace among men."
For our next song, we're going to be singing Angels We Have Heard on High. You as an audience, please join us in singing.
Joy
When Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east to worship him, bringing him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh.
Three kings of Orient are bearing gifts, we travel so far. Fields and mountains, mountains, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of light, starlight, royal beauty bright. Westward leading still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
They look awful too. And what's that Leroy's got?
It's a ham.
A ham? I'll bet they stole it.
No, I think it's the ham from their welfare basket.
You mean it's their own ham? They must hate ham.
Well, even if they hate ham, Alice, it's the only thing they've ever given away in their whole life.
Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed, praising God for all they had seen and heard. But Mary kept these things and pondered them in her heart.
Holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round yon virgin, mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Beth, Mary's crying. Mrs. Bradley, Mary's crying.
Could you believe that was Imogene Herdman and all the rest of them? Oh, Irma, this was the best Christmas pageant. And I'm not sure why, but I think it was them. Could that be?
I guess it's the children and the carols and all. But you're right. This was the best one. And it should have been the worst.
There was just something different.
Well, the angel of the Lord sure was different.
Yeah, you know, though, I like that. It added lots of spirit. Sometimes you can't even hear the angel of the Lord. I must find Grace and tell her.
I just wish now that I'd let her have Eugene to be the baby Jesus.
Who was the baby Jesus?
Well, I believe it was a doll.
Oh, Irma, that was no doll.
Well, it did seem real.
It did seem real, as if it might have happened just that way. We all thought the pageant was about Jesus, but that was only part of it. It was about a new baby and his father and mother who were in a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to go, no doctor, nobody they knew. And then arriving from the east, like my cousin Lane from New Jersey, some rich friends. Because of the Herdmans, it was a whole new story. Imogene burping the baby, and the wise men bringing such a sensible present. After all, they couldn't eat frankincense. And even Gladys, with her whole, he's in the barn, go see him. So the shepherds didn't have to stumble all around the countryside. But I guess it wasn't like that for Imogene. For her, the Christmas pageant turned out to be all wonder and mystery, as if she just caught on to what the Christmas story was all about. When it was over, we had a party in the basement, but the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't have any cocoa, and they didn't walk off with all the cookies, and they wouldn't even take their own candy canes.
Well, that's about it. Any kids left down in the basement?
Nope, they all left. Oh, you're wearing a bathroom. You're not going to wear that, are you?
Why not? Maybe people will think I was a shepherd. I won't mind being mistaken as a shepherd in this Christmas pageant.
Oh, yes, you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, you would. So after it was over, some lady came up to me and hugged me because I was a shepherd. What's with this hand?
It's the Herdman's ham from their welfare basket. Leroy said it was a gift. You can't take back a gift.
Leroy said that? They must hate ham.
Oh, you and Alice Wendelkin.
Well, what about the lights?
They go off at midnight.
Look at the time. It's almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas, kids.
Almost Christmas, Charlie. Hey! Unto you a child is born. For our final song, we're going to be singing Joy to the World. Please join us in singing.
Gladys ended this performance with, "Unto you a child is born." That was the message to the shepherds. It was a message to the wise men. It was a message throughout this story, and it remains to be the message for each of us today. Unto you, unto you, unto you, unto me, unto you a child is born. It continues to be a very powerful message today. And when that message is believed in your heart, it changes you. When you believe that Jesus came for you and Jesus ultimately died for you, it changes you. It changed Imogene in the story. Suddenly something clicked and it made sense. And it became a very real moment and it brought her to tears. And I think as humans, if we would fully understand, it would bring all of us to tears. If we understood that unto me a child is born, and it would make this holiday season extra special. It's not a myth, it's not a legend, and it's not a story that someone concocted to make up. It's an actual event, and it deserves to be celebrated. So that's why we're here today. That's the message of Christmas. And maybe some of you today, right here now, maybe you've never had that moment where it clicked, where it made sense, when you finally believed, when you finally understood that everything that we're talking about, it became real to you. If that became real to you, celebrate that. If it's becoming real to you this year, maybe for the first time, talk to somebody and appreciate that. I've heard it many times. But it is a very special message, and it is just as powerful today as the first time I've heard it. Unto you a child is born. Take that with you as you leave these doors today, the truth that unto you a child is born. Thank you. I am so proud of this group. I told them earlier this morning, when I was youth pastor and you came home from work week, what that felt like. It felt like, we just had a hard day of work. I've seen the relationships. I've seen so many things go into this week. And as we drive in the driveway, it just a very special feeling. And that's the way I felt this morning. They put a lot of work in before that. I've seen the relationships. I've seen all the camaraderie that this group has. And it felt much the same to me as when I got back from a week of work. This group worked really hard. We've been practicing for several months. You'll see most of them did it without scripts, without lines. So I just want to make sure that you thank them for their hard work. They did a great job. And also Delmar back there. I don't want to forget Delmar and Wilmer. Give them a hand. I went up to Delmar and I said, hey, do you think you could would you have interest in doing some lighting? And all of a sudden this thing showed up, and he has this box that he whooped together in the back, and he's controlling these lights, and it just blessed me that so many people are willing to do their part to make this all come together. Wilmer with the sound, it really is tremendous. I want to bless you all. Have a Merry Christmas. Thank you for coming today.